A regularity rally isn't about speed, it's about perfect timing. You hold an average speed, and a time control is where they check how close you got. So the app has to know exactly when you crossed the line. That turns out to be harder than it sounds. A phone's GPS reports where you are once a second. At 50 kilometers an hour, that is one position every 14 meters. One will basically never land on the line. Take the nearest fix, and you are out by a quarter of a second on average, half a second at worst. So Regularity Mate does not look for a fix on the line. It takes the two either side. Treat that second as a straight segment, and ask where along it you came closest. That is one dot product, and it gives you a crossing time no fix ever reported. Here it is on a simulated drive, the only place the true crossing time is known. Two fixes a second apart, at 753 and 754. The projection puts the crossing 58% of the way between them, and stamps it at 753.579. The drive actually crossed at 753.580. 1 millisecond out. There is one place the maths itself struggles, and it is a corner. A straight segment between two fixes cuts a hairpin by 48 centimeters. On the line you drove, that almost cancels, but a control 4 meters off at the roadside costs 35 milliseconds. Still, 7 times better than the nearest fix. On a real phone though, it is not 1 millisecond, because none of this can improve a fix that is in the wrong place, and 3 meters of position error is 170. 0.3 of a millisecond is what the maths costs you. The 170 is what your receiver costs you. And the largest error in the whole system is not ours, it is yours. A control marked 5 meters early costs 360 milliseconds, more than everything the geometry gets wrong put together. Regularity Mate gives you 3 ways to get that coordinate right. Mark it on the map, scan it off the roadbook, or drop it as you drive. And nothing here knows where in the car your phone is. 2 meters behind the wheel that trips the hose is another 144 milliseconds. So, should you buy a proper receiver? A racing one reports 25 times a second instead of once. We measured both, and it is not the rate that does it. Its case looks strong, 25 times the fixes, and a segment 25 times shorter. But the gap only becomes an error if you have to pick one of the two fixes. That was the quarter second. Interpolating had already taken it out. For 0.3 of a millisecond. The rest is position error, and it drifts over tens of seconds, so both receivers are wrong the same way at once. Give them the same accuracy, and the faster one never gets ahead. It comes in 2 milliseconds behind. A shorter segment does pay where the drive is not straight at one speed, that hairpin, or breaking into a control. What is worth buying is the position. A receiver that holds a meter, where your phone holds 3, takes 170 down to 57. So buy one for the meters, not for the hertz. Which is also why Regularity Mate does not have to take its distance from your phone at all. An external receiver, your car's OBD2 port, or a wheel sensor. The wheel sensor and the OBD port never touch a satellite, so your distance survives a gorge. And at every control it re-zeroes your trip meter to the roadbook's distance, not to a GPS one. Regularity Mate, on time to the meter.